We can have everyone be seated. We're ready to start the program. On behalf of everyone in Lin-Wood Public School, I'd like to welcome you to the class of 2014's Awards Assembly. This morning, we will recognize many pupils for their outstanding accomplishments. We are proud to have students who contribute positively to our school, and we are glad to give them the recognition they truly deserve. Our first awards this morning are Scholastic Awards, and in order to receive a Scholastic Award, a student must have a B average or above in 2 out of the first 3 marking periods. And if you would come forward when your name is called. First of all, receiving all A's, Samantha Schamberger and Eunice Bartlett. For 9th grade, an A average, Vinnie Berman, Sydney Calder, Brianna Chase, Dan O'Connor, and Cassidy Santos. For 10th grade, Thor Bartlett, Andrew Harrington, Fran Morrison, and Dakina Ball. For 11th grade, Shannon Hughes, Casey Willett, Kobe Chase. And for 12th grade, our seniors, graduating seniors, and they have the most on the list, so congratulations to them. Natalie Berry, Toby Blaisdell, Joy Bomba, Marky Boyce, Max Dovalak, Kayla Fadden, Maria Spanos, Justin Vance, and Vinnie Bomba. As you can see, most of these students are involved in a number of activities here at Lin-Wood other than being strong academic students, and so we congratulate all of them for a job well done. Thank you.
For the 90-plus Blazers, and that's any student who has a 90-plus average at the completion of their junior year. P.S. Barassa. Colby Chase. Eunice Spartan. Okay, congratulations.
And the students who received a B+ average or above, for 9th graders, Sam Partridge, Michael Walski. Tenth grade, Corey Louds, Bethany, John Lyons, Benjamin Waldo. For juniors, Chelsea Harrington. And for seniors, Jason Richardson and Kimberly Vance. Once again, all of these students are involved in the activities here at Lin-Wood other than in the classroom, and we congratulate them for a job well done. Thank you.
Good morning. We are not Mr. Murray, obviously, but he was kind enough to let us go before him because Ms. Dees needs to return to teach middle school students today. So thank you, Mr. Murphy. We are presenting the Girls of Summer Award out of order, and this award goes to a young lady who displayed all values that we come to embrace as a Girl of Summer. She is adventuresome, she is smart, she pushes herself in ways that we cannot actually keep up with her anymore. And that makes me sad that I cannot keep up with the Girls of Summer. They are faster hikers than Miss Steve's and me now, which is sad. But we want to recognize her because she is an amazing young woman, and she is going to hike the Appalachian Trail one day. We know this about her, and we would just like to recognize Miss Cassidy Santos.
Good morning, and I'm here to hand out the Babe Ruth Sportsmanship Awards. Eligibility, all students in the senior class are eligible. One boy and one girl will be selected to receive this award. The purpose of the Babe Ruth Scholarship Award is to give out information and enlist enthusiasm for good sportsmanship and fair play. So the female recipient this year is Miss Kobe Blazin. recipient for the Babe Ruth Sportsmanship Award is Mr. Justin Vance.
Art should be created to be awe-inspiring. In my class, I constantly tell my students that they'll know when they have created something amazing because they and others will be drawn to its presence, in its presentation and in its meaning. Which is why art should also be created to be shared and appreciated. It's why the world does have authors who tell great stories and performers who give such great shows. We at Lin-Wood are very lucky to have many such artists who create wonderful products across many art disciplines. And I'm very pleased to present two of them with this year's Visual Art Awards. John Rich and Kim Vance couldn't have been more generous to our community in these past few months when it came to sharing their talents with us. Both of them have created work with me, but also have done a ton of work on their own time to present our school with the beautiful public murals you see completed in the hallways, the gymnasium, and the ELO rooms. When we view their art in these circumstances, Kim and John's skills in design, painting, and craftsmanship speak for the artist's abilities themselves. It is clear both of these students have taken the time to practice and perfect their skills, and they should be proud of what they can do. However, more than just being visually pleasing, Kim and John's work provide evidence that they are thoughtful and caring individuals who, through their art processes, have become wonderful role models. For example, I was inspired by John's art to teach some of my younger students a lesson on our 21st century learning expectations. Now, my elementary students in particular love to hear and tell the story of John and Susan. They'll describe John as a very tall high schooler who saved Susan's life. Susan is the dragon on my wall. They will tell you, John not only brought her to life by finishing her and making her look very realistic, but they will also explain that she was created to tell an inspirational tale of two extremely artistic brothers that care about each other very much. Keith, John's older brother, started Susan years ago, and I was actually going to have the janitors paint over her because it made no sense to have an unfinished, quite out-of-place dragon on my wall. The elementary students will end the story by commending and respecting both brothers. Keith, on having great ideas, and John for being the best younger brother ever and a savior of dragons. John, for sure, became a very caring and responsible citizen, as well as a great collaborator in the eyes of aspiring Lin-Wood artists that day. Kim's artwork tells a similar story of achievement, but in a much softer way. I've had her in every class since I started working here, and although she herself has always been a humble individual, her artwork reveals an extremely intelligent, observant, expressive, and at times quite quirky young lady. She has a knack for inventing artworks that promote learning and imaginative thinking. I have often been asked by other students after they have stood wide-eyed in front of her pieces, "Miss Roby, how did she do that?" Or, "What does it all mean?" Or, and again I quote the brashness of an elementary student, "Who made that? Because I want to shake their hand." And this is what most impressed me with Kim as an art student. I was always able to answer all of their questions. For Kim is not only receiving this award because she can draw, paint, and sculpt, but because she has an unbelievable ability to thoroughly understand, speak, and write about art as well. And I do make all of my students do both in my art classes. And Kim always comes through in discussions or critiques with the most meaningful and thought-provoking descriptions as to how she went about developing her artwork and what we as witnesses are supposed to discover through her work. And when you're done listening to her or reading what she has to say, this ray of understanding sort of dawns on you, and you think, wow, I totally get it now. And I think I just might be able to do that too. And just like that, she's inspired you to try something new. Art is meant to be shared, and it is meant to be awe-inspiring. These two students proved it this year. Congratulations to both.
Present a couple of awards today. The first one is called the Erica Avery Award, and it was actually presented at the Ice Cream Social. However, this being a high school forum, I'd like to present it here also to recognize this young student. Erica Avery was a student here who passed away in 1986, and this award is given to a freshman voted on by the other freshmen in the band as the most improved 9th grade band member. And it is my duty to read the dedication on the back of the plaque each year. Erica was always a dedicated, hardworking student at Lin-Wood. Her education was a valuable part of her life. Despite her years of illness and absences from school, she always tried to make the best of her education. She loved the teachers who taught her, the students who were always with her, and the education she was receiving. Her courage carried her through many days of having to be tutored and kept away from friends. But the one thing that was really special to Erica was the band. Erica's determination and love for the band brought her to be the best flute player she could be. Even when she was being tutored, she would bring her flute, hoping to be able to participate in her lessons. I know Erica's memory will always be with the band, as she would have liked. As we know, she was very proud to be part of the Lin-Wood schools, and especially the band. And the Ice Cream Social concert is dedicated yearly to in memory of Erica Avery. This year, the award was, sometimes they vote on it, and I kind of have the last say, but this was almost a unanimous vote for Cassidy Santos. Now we have an award that's typically given to one student, and it is called the John Philip Sousa Award. This is given to a student who is a senior and has participated for 4 years and is outstanding not only as a musician, but as a leader and is outspoken in music and in leadership in the band room and at our performances. Well, I sort of had a yin and a yang this year. Some years I have only one student. This year, one senior. This year we have 4 seniors, and it's the first time that I've really gotten stuck between that yin and that yang. We have something quiet and something not so quiet. And I'll let you choose which is which. But I have chosen this year to give this award to both Kayla Fadden and Maria Smith. And I wouldn't stay on up here because to add to this duet, we will make a quartet of our seniors, and we have not only Kayla Fadden and Maria Spanos, but Natalie Berry and Justin Bailey. As in the whole group and for the whole 4 years. So thank you very much. Those are the names. Wear these proudly at graduation. Yeah, all the time.
I have several choral awards to present, and I'll begin with the solo and ensemble medals. Could I have the following students please come forward? Haley Ash, Natalie Berry, Nicole Fucci, Shannon Hughes, Tim Holden, Megan O'Hara, Wyatt Safford, Megan Vance, and Nikki Welch. Every February, I take a group of students to this festival where they perform for a judge and are given an A, B, C, or D rating. This year's festival is held at PSU, and the whole chorus performed 2 pieces and earned 2 A's. Shannon and Megan performed a duet and also received an A rating. And each of these students chose to sing a solo of varying levels of difficulty and received A or B ratings for their performances. Standing up on your own and being judged is a really difficult thing to do, but it makes us all stronger, and consequently, it makes the group stronger. So I'm glad so many of you choose to do it. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Did I have Colby Blaisdell, Erica Brown, and Masha Cannon join us? Okay, this is the select chorus, and we meet once a week. They're my go-to choir when asked if I have a group that can perform for various events. In addition to 3 concerts this year, they also performed for the opening of our NIASC visitation, the National Honor Society induction ceremony, the Secretary's Day luncheon, and they will perform one final time as a group at graduation. Thank you, girls, for a great job this year. Thank you all. Okay, now I'd like to present the 4-year choral award to 3 outstanding seniors who have committed themselves to our choral program. I've had the pleasure of teaching them since they were in 2nd grade. Their class song in the very first elementary review that I directed here was "Everybody's Got Music Inside," and they truly do. We had a little farewell for them in class yesterday, and I was really impressed with the other students suggested that we go around the room and let each student say what they liked most or would miss most about these three. They said they're all such great role models. They're so talented and versatile, able to sing whatever part is needed. They set a high standard and help others with whatever they need help with. They made chorus fun, and the other students look forward to being with them every day. They said a lot of other nice things, too. I totally agree with all of them, but more importantly, I think it says something about these three that the other students all wanted a chance to let them know just how much they meant to them. You know how much you mean to me. We'll all miss you. Congratulations, and thank you. Singular merit, ability, and achievement, of outstanding contributions to the success of the school vocal program, and of an unusual degree of loyalty, cooperation, and high qualities of conduct by the general consent of the music faculty, school officials, and others. In addition to all the wonderful things I've already said about Megan, she's done so much more. She started every day as my middle school aide, where I could count on her to do whatever was needed. She was a great example, and the kids loved her. Fourth period, she came back for Music for Life, where among other things, she learned to play a little piano, enough so that she was able to accompany the middle school chorus on a piece in their last concert. Second period was high school chorus, where she was undoubtedly second in command. She just set the standard, and everyone else respected her and followed her example. In November, she performed at the All-New England Choral Festival, and then auditioned for the All-State Chorus. This is very difficult to get into. It requires a lot of preparation. And Megan made it, allowing her to spend 3 days at the All-State Festival in April. She was the go-to soloist to sing the national anthem at basketball games this winter, and basically taught both chorus classes while I was in December. I spent 3 periods a day with Megan all year, and will really miss her. But she's recently decided to major in choral music education, and I look forward to supporting her on this new path. Congratulations, Megan, on receiving the National School Choral Award.
Our first ever high school DI team for Lin-Wood. Destination Imagination hopes to inspire and equip students to become the next generation of innovators and leaders. As I just mentioned, this is our first ever high school team, and they have definitely made the school proud and me proud. They respected each other's ideas, even when they might not necessarily agree with them. And by the end of the DI season, they have become a cohesive team, and I'm happy that I'm going to be able to work with you guys all next year. And here are your certificates.
morning, everyone. My name is Alyssa Yola. I work in town at the Lincoln-Woodstock Chamber of Commerce, and I've also had the pleasure of serving as the co-advisor for the Future Business Leaders of America. My fellow advisor, Faith Clark, couldn't be here today. She's on the 8th grade camping trip, but she joins me in thanking the following students for their participation in the club this year. Maria Spanos, Eunice Bartlett, Pierce Barassa, Katie Van Houten, Megan Vance, and Nicole Bucci. So this group has worked really hard this year, participating in a number of different fundraisers, public relations events, and volunteer opportunities. They've done a great job, not only within their own community, but also representing the Lin-Wood High School at the annual Spring Leadership Conference, which is held in Manchester in April. It's a statewide conference which brings high school students from across the state of New Hampshire that participate in the FBLA clubs in their respective hometowns to this two-day conference where they compete in various events, participate in workshops and special presentations, enjoy keynote speakers, and get to participate in a couple of different social events. While the whole club couldn't attend, we did have 3 students, Katie, Pierce, and Eunice, all attended, and they did a fantastic job representing our school and also getting to know other students from around the state. They placed second in their competitive event, which was against 12 other schools that were competing, so they did a great job with that. We're very proud of them. And even though the whole club could not make it for the conference, everybody had a big hand in helping to prepare for that, whether it be writing reports, getting chapter activity information together. So I thank all of them for their hard work and dedication. I'd also like to make special recognition for our graduating senior, Maria Spanos. She has been part of the club since her freshman year, and she has been my go-to person. She's been the president for the last 2 years and just does a fantastic job engaging all of the students, being a great leader, and is always the first one to volunteer to help get whatever job that needs to be done. So thank you for all of your hard work and dedication, and we wish you good luck at UNH next fall. And I'd just like to thank the club for the opportunity to be their advisor. It's been a fantastic experience. I've learned a lot, so thank you all very much. I would like to mention too that Maria is our outstanding member this year, so thank you.
Lin and I are here to give the Foreign Language Award. The Foreign Language Department is presenting awards to 2 students for their outstanding achievement in their chosen second language. One award for French and one award for Spanish. This year's winners are being applauded for their high academic marks as well as demonstrating a dedication to their target language as exemplified through their class participation, individual assignments, cooperative work, and special projects. This year's winners are, for Spanish, Eunice Merche Bartlett. And for French, Maria Estelle Spanos. We would also like to recognize the students who have seen the value of studying a foreign language and have made the choice to study foreign languages, studying a foreign language for 4 years. Now, we do have one student this year, Merche, who has accomplished this feat in 3 years by taking a class over the summer. So she is also one of our 4-year awards, along with Maria. Also, we have 4 years in French, Colby Delphine Blaisdell, Bailey Didier Clermont, Owen Luke Sawyer, and for Spanish, Vinny Vincenze Bamba, Marky Alicia Boyce.
This award is going to a student who has been taking my digital photography class 6 times, not including an independent study last year. Her dedication didn't stop there. She assisted the yearbook students by covering multiple events, games, and even some portraits. Though I am sad to see her go, I am proud of all that she has accomplished and wish her the best. Emily Gillen. First term while I was away. He held the class together, directed students, taught the new students, and assisted my substitute, all while running the channel. I was incredibly impressed my first day back when the bell rang, sending students to the class, and they all quietly filed into the room, jumped on their computers, and began working on their individual assignments. I didn't have to say a word. It was then that I truly saw what a remarkable job this student did while I was away and continues to do today. Thank you, Casey Willett. Chloe, Brendan, and Jason Brown. You guys can all come up here, please. These young men and women have been part of the ABCs at adolescence, building community through sport. And they are a lot of fun. And so any students who are looking for some more community service hours, New England Disabled Sports right up the road, we do a lot of awesome things together. And many of these young men and women have given up their time on weekends to help teach students how to ski and ride bikes and get out in the woods and have a great time. So I wanted to publicly recognize their dedication and time. And you can see we have a lot of fun. So thank you guys very much for your time.
I know you're busy with your Channel 3 duties, but if Mr. Lin-Wood could come back up. I am presenting you with the Harvard Book Award. This award is given to a student who will be graduating in the following year. The student displayed academic excellence, high character, and achievement in another field, and I think we all know which one that is. The honor of this year's award goes to Mr. Casey Ouellette. Fortunate enough to be handing out several awards this morning. Next, the awards for St. Paul School. St. Paul School. For over 50 years, St. Paul School has offered high school juniors the opportunity to become fully immersed in a rigorous course of study, while gaining a sense of what it is like to live, study, and get involved in a new academic atmosphere. St. Paul's was graced by the presence of two wonderful young ladies this year, or this past summer. Colby Blaisdell, Maria Spanis. Well, I think I made a mistake. I don't think Maria went this year. Next up is Boy State. The American Legion Boy State is among the most respected educational programs of government instruction for high school students since 1935. Each participant becomes a part of the operations of his local, county, and state government. Our community was fortunate enough to have two dedicated young men and future leaders participate in this program before their senior year. May I have Kyle Palmer and Zach Whipple. Kyle, you're staying, and Zach, you're in the seat. Every year we award a group of young men and women who have prepared themselves for college by taking a rigorous course of study. Although many of these awards are given, it is my hope that each of you takes pride in your own accomplishments. Your former courses of study have set you on the path to success. As I call your name, please come up. The New Hampshire Scholar recipients this year are Colby Blaisdell, Joseph Bomba, Vinny Bomba, Marky Boyce, Bailey Claremont, Caleb Adams, Cassidy LaRue, Kyle Palmer, Jason Richardson. Owen Sawyer. Maria Spanos. I mean it this time. Justin Vance.
Yes.
Kimberly Vance. And Megan Vance.
Good morning. I'm here to present the Ryla Awards for the Lincoln Woodstock Rotary Club. Rotary International is an international service organization whose stated purpose is to bring together businesses and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all locations, and help build goodwill around the world. If I could have Hannah Hoover, Nicole Fucci, Chloe Laux, and Grant Clark come up. The RILA program, the Rotary Youth Leadership Award, is a leadership development program run by Rotary. The participants can be any age, but our district's leadership event focuses on high school students attending a 3-day conference that includes presentations, activities, and workshops that cover a variety of topics, including leadership fundamentals and ethics, communication skills, problem solving and conflict management, and community and global citizenship. These 4 attended the 3-day workshop and did a great job. I'd like to present those certificates. And would like to just recognize Wyatt Safford and King Welch, who will be attending the program this time.
I'm here on behalf of the Community Service Award. My Project Venture class did a lot of stuff within the community. We helped out at NEDS, we helped out at the community center, the Lincoln Library. This young lady is the recipient of the Community Service Award every time, was always willing to go the extra mile, lift boxes, fill food pantry boxes, anything to help out the Lincoln Woodstock community. This year's recipient for the Community Service Award goes to Natalie Berry.
Nelson always gets nervous. So. Morning, and I know Ellen started this out with a bunch of other famous actors, so I brought myself an animal cell here. So we're going to do a selfie. All right, that takes care of that. I'm here to present the Darwin Award. Darwin Award is an award that is going out to a senior who has been the most evolved in science. I'll
So this award goes to a student who has held very high academic achievement, as well as taken the most science classes possible, including online and in-class work and independent work. So this award goes to Ms. Maki. And of course, she gets the covenant tie-dye lab. Yeah. That's why I'm a science teacher. The following year, she was named one of 5 finalists for the National Teacher of the Year Award. In 1980, Ms. Parker retired from teaching to her home in North Woodstock to become active in town and school affairs. The Pemmy Valley Church, the local historical society, and the Business and Professional Women's Association. In 1989, the union leader named Eleanor Parker New Hampshire Woman of the Year. In honor of her legacy as a courageous defender of righteousness, the Eleanor Parker English Award is given to a member of the senior class, not in recognition of the highest grade or most ability. Rather, it is presented to the student who approaches the use of the English language in the same joyous spirit as did Eleanor Parker. This is a student who cherishes the right to read and a student who clearly demonstrates obvious enthusiasm for the use and power of language.
This year's recipient of the Eleanor Parker Award, I think began her high school career as an English student kind of like this. Yes, Mrs. Wisher. And then junior year, maybe, yes, Mrs. Wisher. And finally, senior year came out for Shell quite a bit. I think with the adoption, I like to think that it was all my doing of the adoption of the nickname Kimmy. Miss Kim Vance has become quite a student. I think one of our other seniors put it perfectly when they said that they would remember Kim being the only student to really know what was going on in our lives. And so I thought, as a teacher, you know, this is what we dream of. We dream of an English student who finally becomes your mini-me, the person who likes to talk about all the things that you like to talk about and likes to read all the books that you like to read. And Kim definitely is that student. She, wait a second, something profound, is wonderful. Miss Kimmy Vance, please come up.
an individual in our senior class this year for taking advantage of every authentic public speaking or writing competition we offer. Please note, she was not the public speaking heroine she has become back in 9th and 10th grade. She decided that this was going to be something she would be good at, and so she worked very hard to achieve this, and her countless first place finishes are the end result. She learned a considerable deal in this process and far exceeded our academic expectations for her. We are so proud of you, Miss Kayla Fadden. All right, we're almost done. Lots of English awards this year, people. Wow. Woo! All right. We need, if we can have the following people join us up here, please. Natalie Savoy, Brianna Chase, Wyatt Safford, Kyle Roby, not here anymore, Saran Morrison, Allie Rakita, Grant Clark, Jesse Louise. These are our classroom winners of our Poetry Out Loud competition this year. And so this is our 5th year participating in Poetry Out Loud, and every year gets better and better. And we are so proud of these individuals for taking that risk and standing up in front of their classmates. And you run the risk of messing up a word or not saying the right line. And our classrooms have become these intensely supportive environments where kids cheer for each other for poetry, which, again, we are pretty proud of at our school. So thank you to participants of Poetry Out Loud, everybody, and especially our classroom winners. Where are these for next year's competition? We'll make you feel real proud. We're proud. So there, we love kids.
showed real promise in the kitchen until she left. Skyla, well, she needs very little instruction and she can power through a prep list like nobody's business. She's quiet, effective, and still able to manage our class budget. Blythe was the creative perfectionist, always pushing the envelope and taking it to the edge, mostly when he was awake. Ollie, a mid-season recruit, jumped right in and was willing to push the limits of his, well, rather limited palate. Jason, where to start? Cooking with music became our reality. Listening to YMCA a lot. And his endless enthusiasm for food. And Miss Brown, without whom neither Jason nor Blythe would have made it through the class. Catering this year was insane. We made, with the smallest class ever, our catering assignments just blew up. We catered our NEAM visiting team for 3 days. In May and June, we made 14 decorated sheet cakes for a variety of events. Each one of these people has buttercream frosting recipes engraved in the center of their brain. This year's Foodie of the Year won both the gingerbread contest with his Eiffel Tower and his yummy sandwich in the sandwich eating contest. But my fondest memory was one when he made his own special hot pepper seasoning with the help of the Morrison Family Garden and our evening custodian, Bill Fraser's love of very, very hot strains of peppers. He actually brought himself and myself to our knees in the kitchen, not once, but twice, with this creation. So our Foodie of the Year, getting the silver spoon this year, is to personally thank Kim Vance for finishing the two-year idea that came out of an 8th grade health class, has gone through many hands, and with the help of Ms. Proby, Kim Vance took on the very beautiful and amazing sculpture that she did, painting that she did. Many people might have been discouraged after their partner left when Kyle Roby left mid-project. Many people might have given up or deemed it unworthy of them after they were crowned royalty. And others may have let the extremely contagious senduritis take its toll, but not Kim Vance. She persevered through the late afternoon yesterday to complete the health mural next to the library. My sincere gratitude to Kim Vance.
Good morning. Before we venture into the Mathematics Achievement Award, I'd just like to give verbal recognition to 3 students who on the spring math test achieved the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th highest scores ever at Lin-Wood. That'd be Taran Morrison, and Lillian Sue, and Chloe Lennox. That was more so a one-time event. Our Mathematics Achievement Award is more like an MVP event. A mathematics valued person. The recipient of this award has great enthusiasm for mathematics for the sake of mathematics. Makes a lot of great connections. Statement in my classroom at some point over the last 4 years. Oh wow, that's how all this really works. Another statement. Oh, all my math classes now really fit together. Which really fits in with the Common Core Practice standards. Making sense of problems, persevering in solving them, constructing viable arguments, looking for and making use of structure, reasoning abstractively and quantitatively, modeling with mathematics and attending to precision. That certainly is exemplified by this person, as well as 21st century learning expectations, communication, whether that's verbal, written, or product, time management, flexibility, critical thinker, application, analysis, synthesis, Now we get audience participation. You all brought calculators, right? Yes, you're all right there. You don't need them. Don't have to take them. First question is to speak. Raise your hand if you know what a mathematics cow is. All right, good. You're in the running for this one. Raise your hand again if you turned in at least one mathematics cow this year. A few less hands. Okay, you're still in the running. Raise your hand again if you had Miss Johnson for a mathematics teacher this year. Good, you're still in the running.
It is my pleasure to recognize this person who seemingly loves math. Often students come bursting into my room, Ms. Johnson, I have something exciting to tell you. They tell me what they did over the weekend, what their new job is, a college they are excited about, a new hobby they've discovered, etc. And all of these things I love to hear. But it is not often students share that same level of enthusiasm with mathematical topics. They do exist though, and the student we have nominated today is proof. It is often that this student steps into my room with that same liveliness we see in anyone who is about to speak of their passion. Ms. Johnson, I have great news for you. I understand how all my courses together, math, English, and psychology, or I learned a really cool concept in math today, or I found a trick for helping me with a specific kind of math problem, or, ugh, I can't figure it out, I don't get it. And 10 minutes later, with a glow on the face, I get it now. Phew, okay. Comments such as these are a daily occurrence with this person. It is wonderful to see a student not just learn material because it is required for the class, but because this person is truly interested. I have spent more time in the past 2 years with her than I have any other student in the school, or teacher for that matter. I know I am not alone in saying I am proud of her, all she has accomplished, and I'm thankful for having had the opportunity to teach her. I know we will see great things in her future, and I hope she keeps pushing to rise above challenges in academics and in life. Congratulations, Kayla Fallon. And while Kayla is up here, I would also just like to take a moment to recognize the tennis club. So if you guys could come up for a second. If you had asked me when I was younger that I would be helping with the tennis club, I would have never expected this. I learned when I was a kid, but I haven't played at all. And there was a group of these girls that came up to me and was interested in a tennis club, and I said, sure, why not? So I haven't really done anything. They were the ones who drove to make this club happen. I just asked for permission. And so I just want to recognize them for making this a student-driven club. They should be proud of their commitment level to it. And it's been really fun. I look forward to it. It's 3 days a week. I love playing with them. I don't coach them because I don't know how to play tennis very well. So yeah, it's been great. And I also want to thank them for inspiring me to actually go and play tennis on my own. So if it wasn't for this, now I play on my weekends, which I never would have before. So thank you for doing that. And also special thank you to Takima and Desiree for helping me make these personalized paper plate awards for each of them. So Nathaniel, you have the Wild Ball Award. He has a huge swing and the ball goes crazy. Kerrigan for the Tennis Fashionista Award, my favorite was the hard sunglasses. Katie Van Houten for the Wind Took My Ball Award. If the ball goes everywhere, there's usually a reason. Megan O'Hara for the Hole in My Racket Award. Madison Sport for the Waterlogged Ball Award. And then the last four I have a paper plate award for, and also I just want to recognize them for participating the most and having the highest attendance. So Takima Welch, the Downwards Force Award. The ball gets hit like that. The Pocket of Balls Award, Desiree Levante. Her
carrying the balls in his box all the time. Ben Isles, the Gentleman's Award. And Caleb Madden for the Serena Williams Award. Good job, and thank you.
Thank you.
I have two attendance awards to give. The first is for perfect attendance, and there are two recipients, Chris Brooks and Denise Berman. And the second is for good attendance, and we have Corinne Morrison, Devin Hood, Max Stovall, Erica Brown, Daniel O'Connor, Justin Mance, Andrew Harrington. That is your honor.
I'm up here to present the Physical Education Awards. I'm first going to present Mr. Louses, due to the fact that Mr. Louse is not here. First, Mr. Joey Mama. And second, Mr. Jared Durant. And now this is my PE award for Mr. Murphy's class. Vinny Mama. Now I'm up here to do the School to Career Award. No, I'm sorry. School to Co-Curricular. That one's.
I'm here to present the School Teacher Awards. First, I'd like to start with the underclassmen. The first award is going to go to Jason Brown. Work on an Encore thrift shop volunteer. Most days he was there. Thank you to Encore and Mr. Marston for supporting Jason. The next one is Katie Van Houten. Katie Van Houten had the opportunity to explore the world of kindergarten.
Zakima Welch.
Zakima has spent the past 2 years working in the field of science with Mr. Webster. She recently gave a presentation on the regeneration of planaria and how to care for them. It was very interesting. Most people do not really see the excitement of this, Zakima does. She has a passion for science and is very eager to learn and continue in the field of biology. So a special thank you to Mr. Webster. Next, Eunice Bartlett. Eunice has also spent the last 2 years working through the Lin-Wood Veterinarian Clinic. She has always had a strong desire to work with animals. Although through this school career experience, she realized the idea of becoming a vet is not for her. This is one of the great benefits that you will learn through school to career. I'm very thankful to the Lin-Wood Vet Clinic for helping us and to continue with our students in the future as well. So thank you to them. Those are our underclassmen. Next, I'd like to call up our graduating seniors. The first, Abby Donahue. A little bit about Abby, I'd like to say it anyway. Abby had the opportunity to work with the Little Child Care Center for the past 2 years. She is another student that has a strong passion for children. When the children see Abby, they light up. She will be missed by the center and by the kids. Abby will be going to NHTI in the fall, where she will continue to study early childhood education. Marky Boyce. Marky Boyce spent this year with the Lin-Wood Ambulance Service. It amazed me at how excited she became learning medical technology and mastering the art of blood pressure. Every week, her journals were meticulously written. Marky's final project was to plan and organize the mock car crash that took place a few weeks back. Marky did a phenomenal job spearheading this project, along with the ambulance director, Robert Weatherall. Next year, Marky will study radiology at NHTI. So thank you to Lin Ambulance and Robert for having her. Last but not least, Vinny Bamba. Vinny Bamba is truly one of the hardest working students I know. Not only did Vinny continue to work his way into a managerial position, he also became a superhero. Thankfully, Vinny was okay, when he does have superpowers now. Vinny learned how to become a manager and a leader through the JPB Management Group. I am certain that Vinny will continue to only move forward as he studies business management from the State University and lives on campus. Thank you.
I decided to name it after an interesting character from American history, Henry David Thoreau. Those of you who have already taken U.S. history have read this wonderful play that is about his life, the night Thoreau spent in jail. And those of you who have not, will be reading it next year. Thoreau was an admirable character for a lot of reasons, but for me mostly because he encouraged people to really think about how they wanted to be in this world. The study of history can help us figure that out. Dates, events, they don't really matter so much. What's really important are the big lessons for mankind, that human beings are imperfect, but they are also capable of being better in this world. Often being better takes great courage because it means standing up against a majority opinion that isn't necessarily morally correct. Thoreau spoke out against war, Alice Paul about a woman's right to vote, Thurgood Marshall about segregated schools. Thoreau would approve of today's recipient of this award. He knows his history and he's doing an admirable job of being in this world, a positive, compassionate, and productive young man. This year's award for excellence in history goes to Grant Clark. For the following students, please come up. These are this year's youth and government students. Right. Start with the freshmen: Anit Berman, Sydney Calder, Brianna Chase, Connor Coppin, Cassidy Santos, and Sam Schamberger. Sophomores: Thor Bartlett, Chloe Laux, John Lyons, Joanna Morrison, Ali Rakita, Madison Savoy, Katie Van Houten, Ben Waldo, and Kimura. Pierce Barassa, Grant Clark, and Chelsea Harrington. Just a few comments about Youth in Government. Youth in Government is a program that is run by the YMCA. It operates in 50 states. The New Hampshire organization, about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, celebrated its 50th anniversary. These young people get together in the fall and they begin to think about bills that they would like to see passed by their youth Congress. Our bills this year involved the death penalty, homework, cell phones, PE credit for sports, rest area upgrades, making our towns cleaner, burying the Northern Pass, reducing prison costs, improving school nutrition, drug testing, and other school safety items. These guys go to Concord. They spend 3 days there all told. They debate their bills in committee. They get together in the full house. They decided to change the New Hampshire state song to Fortunate Son. Okay. Anyway, they're a great group to work with, and it's always fun to spend some time in Concord with them. So, congratulations.
I'm going to be giving out the Psychology High Achievement and Effort Award, and I'm just going to start off by willing and bequeathing this student 8 hours of sleep, at least on the school night. Psychology is fun. Psychology is interesting. Psychology is super, super relevant to all of our lives. But in college level psychology, it is not always easy. It takes hours and hours of outside of class reading, note-taking, reading, studying, project building, and then focus, during class when at times it's so easy to wax philosophical because everything, psychological, because everything connects to psychology. And it's not necessarily easy to bring it back in and focus on those 46 terms and concepts and researches that one must know by the end of a 4 to 6 day period. So even if by the 6th period of our day her eyelids have grown heavy, this person is able to turn in every single time, on time, sometimes really high caliber work, and balance that work ethic with fun and anecdotes and silliness and trying to take selfies when she shouldn't be. But she's an extremely self-directed learner, and I would like to award the Running Start Program for Psychology, highest level of commitment and achievement, to Eunice Bartlett.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lieutenant Baxter. On behalf of the Army ROTC program, I'm here to present a scholarship. First, I'd like to say congratulations to this year's senior class. Competition was intense through the application process for ROTC. More than 12,000 students applied. A little over 3,000 were selected. And one of those individuals, they're sitting before us today. This individual has distinguished themselves as a well-rounded academic scholar and leader. They have maintained a high GPA, participated in additional activities after school and during, and also has an above-average SAT score. The standards of admission for the ROTC program are quite high, as they should be, because they will be leading American soldiers. When this individual graduates from college, they'll have more to show than just a college diploma. They will also have the leadership skills, the self-discipline, and confidence when commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. Kyle Palmer has met these high standards, and we're all proud of him. I saw him today walking around with his shoes just like me. So today I'm presenting him with a scholarship certificate worth $66,000 to the University of New Hampshire for 3 years.
Our last recognition this morning is the Principal's Award. The Principal's Award is given to a student who has shown tremendous growth and maturity from the time he started 9th grade until his senior year. In his reflective essay for English, he states, "I'm sure if anyone knew me when I was a freshman compared to now, they would think that I'm a different person." This gentleman truly is a different person. His academic improvement and his whole outlook on learning have headed in a positive direction during the past 4 years. I'm proud to present this year's Principal's Award to Morgan McGarry. Thank you everyone for attending and congratulations.